I don't really know how to describe this other than evil. Evil. In the Washington Post today, an op-ed by Joe Scarborough of MSMBC, has his own TV show with his soon-to-be wife, his paramour. And as you're thinking about 9/11 and the lead-up to 9/11, to sit down and pen an op-ed of the kind that Joe Scarborough did is pure evil. It's diabolical. And he's very proud of it. Here's what he said this morning on his program. Listen to this. Cut one, go.
I love that line, that Roger Cohen line, America is an idea. And if you strip America of its ideas, forget about knocking down buildings in the financial district, forget about running planes into the Pentagon. Those are tragedies, but those tragedies bring us closer together. America is an idea. You gut America of that idea.
Now, let's just stop. You see how quickly he dismisses it. It's 9/11. He's using the occasion of 9/11 to lead up to a point that you'll hear in a moment. You know, forget about knocking down buildings in the financial district. Forget about running planes into the Pentagon. Those are tragedies, but those tragedies bring us closer. He's got ice water in his veins because he's sprinting to a point that he feels he desperately must make. Go ahead.
To America. Roger Cohen wrote that right after Donald Trump was elected, and unfortunately 18 months later across the world you have people looking at a country that is saying they want to ban people from coming to America because of their religion.
Now, nobody has said that. Nobody. Nobody has said that, Joe Scarborough. Why do you lie through your teeth? Particularly on this day. Why do you choose to lie like that? Go ahead.
Brett Kavanaugh, who wants to be on the Supreme Court, refusing to answer whether people should be banned from coming to the United States because of their race.
He didn't refuse to answer whether people should be banned from coming to the United States because of their race. In fact, the email that Cory Booker demanded be released demonstrated the opposite. Why do you lie like you do, Joe Scarborough? Why do you lie through your teeth? Go ahead.
The Constitution and the accumulation of that, the retweeting of neo-Nazi videos, Charlottesville.
This president deported a 95-year-old Nazi where Barack Obama refused to, where George W. Bush refused to. You really think he's a neo-Nazi? How outrageous is this? Do you think the neo-Nazis like the fact that this president has a 90% popularity rate in Israel? You think the neo-Nazis like the fact that he has a daughter and a son-in-law and grandchildren who are Orthodox Jews? Do you think the neo-Nazis like the fact that he recognized Jerusalem as the eternal capital of Israel and moved our embassy there? Other presidents running for office lied about it. He actually did it. Or that he closed the PLO office? Tell me, Joe Scarborough, what the hell have you done in your life? Are those the actions of somebody who's sympathetic to neo-Nazis? Why do you lie like this, Joe Scarborough? Why do you lie through your teeth? Go ahead.
Go on and on. What he said about majority black countries.
He didn't say anything about majority black countries. He talked about destitute countries. Destitute countries. And that is a matter of immigration policy. It's been the immigration policy of this country for some time. That people who come to this country need to be able to contribute to this country. That means some will be destitute, some will not. But he's talking about standards that have been in place for 150 years. Only to the last 10 years have they not been in place. Has nothing to do with race. Go ahead.
That is tearing more at the fabric of America than attacks on the Twin Towers did.
Than attacks on the Twin Towers did. So Trump is more dangerous, more damaging to America than the Islamo-Nazis that slammed those jetliners into our buildings and into central Pennsylvania. You must really have a hate on. You must really be an egomaniac beyond measurement to say such things. Like I said, evil and diabolical. Go ahead.
Built from that. We became stronger because of that. But this seems to me a far graver threat to the idea of America.
The far graver threat to the idea of America. That is Donald Trump. He's a kook, this Joe Scarborough. And, of course, the Washington Post ran his piece, just like the New York Times ran the anonymous piece. Our free press. The golden age of journalism. You see, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are truly patriotic Americans, you see it, I see it. Anything goes when it comes to attacking the President of the United States. And not only that, anything goes when it comes to attacking you. Scarborough has had people on his show that have said that you are the equivalent of Nazis and racists. This is really quite evil, quite diabolical, what's taking place here. And they have to lie in order to advance their positions and their arguments. And to use the occasion of 9/11 to push out some drivel is truly unbelievable to me. There's a guy by the name of Levin. Devin McCourty, New England Patriots. Is he still a player or is he retired? Do you know, Rich? He's still a player. And he was on MSMBC today. This MSMBC, I mean, this is a real hate network. Now listen to this football player with the New England Patriots. Cut 2, go.
I think if you truly want to get involved and not just throw out the idea, oh, these guys are protesting the anthem and the servicemen, but to actually listen to us and see what we're talking about. We've had opportunities to talk to some of those servicemen, and they said that's what they fought for. So I think a day like today where we're talking about 9/11 everywhere, I think it's the quality of what people went through when they were trying to rescue lives. That's the same thing we're trying to fight for.
The same thing you're trying to fight for? You mean taking a knee at a football game is the same thing you're trying to fight for when those first responders were trying to rescue people? Did MSNBC go back to those first responders, those who are still with us, and ask them if taking a knee at a football game is the same thing as when they went into those buildings to try and save other human beings, that's the same thing as taking a knee? Is this guy, Devin McCourty, this stupid? This self-deluded? I think he is. And, of course, the media give him a platform. MSNBC wants this message out. The Washington Post wanted the Scarborough message out. I strongly doubt that the vast majority of active duty military and veterans in this country agree. I strongly doubt that the vast majority of first responders in New York City, at the Pentagon, in central Pennsylvania agree with this. I strongly doubt that the vast majority of these heroes agree with Joe Scarborough, that Donald Trump is more dangerous than what took place on 9/11 because he's a threat to the American idea. These are very bad times, ladies and gentlemen. We have elements within this country. I believe they are a distinct minority, although they're all over the media and they seem like a distinct majority. There are elements within this country who absolutely hate it. Joe Scarborough hates this country. To make a comment like this, to write an op-ed like he did, He despises his fellow Americans. He can talk all he wants about the American idea. We have an American reality. We have a Declaration of Independence. We have certain principles. We have a Constitution of the United States. We have a civil society. America is more than an idea. When John Locke was asked about his ideas of natural law and unalienable rights, where do these come from? Where do these ideas? Where are they today? You know what he said? America. That's where these ideas are. They're in America. They're more than ideas. It's America. With real documents, with real principles, with real institutions. That Scarborough and this clown in the football suit are attacking. And they attack on 9/11. They don't care. They'll attack on 9/11. They'll attack on D-Day. They'll attack on the anniversary of Gettysburg. They have no respect, none whatsoever, for the history of this country. They have no respect for the vast majority of people in this country. White, black, brown, yellow, red. It doesn't matter. No respect. When Joe Scarborough sits down with his fat ass and making tens of millions of dollars and writes an op-ed like this, when this clown football player, same thing, comes up, talks about America, America is not a nation of oppression. America is not a nation of racism. It is a magnificent country like none mankind has ever conceived before. It's more than an idea. It's a fact. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.